What's going on, everybody? How you doing? And welcome. My name is PeteyTV. I'm here to give you the information that you need to know for World of Warcraft this present week. So we are going into week, I think it's week 7, which is going to consist of a handful of different things. The biggest thing is that we're going to be talking about is we're going to talk about our affixes and so on and so forth really quickly. And then after that, we're going to go into everything else. So quickly, what we're going to talk about is what our 3 affixes are. Well, I should say what our bigger affixes are. So from what I'm thinking it's going to be Devour this week. And so Zealots have a bargain. Devour means that they're going to periodically be affected by Heal Absorb, and there's going to be these little crystals that are going to fly around the room, and they're going to try to hit you. So when that ends up happening, you're going to want to end up pretty much running into them, and they're going to give you a healing buff and a crit buff. So make sure you end up doing that. We also are going to be dealing with Tyrannical early on, followed by Challenger's Peril, which is getting changed this week. Challenger's Peril, when you die for the first time on a 7+ key, you're going to get an additional 90 seconds added to your overall time. And then after that overall time is all said and done, you are going to be getting pretty much 6 free deaths, essentially. So we'll see how that runs and operates. And then you're going to get Fortified at 10, and then Guile at 12, which is going to be that flat buff. I didn't say this before, but I'm going to say it now. Tyrannical is the one for the boss damage. Is 25% more health and 15% more damage. At 4, and then 10 is going to be your Fortified, which means non-boss enemies are going to deal more damage, and so on and so forth. So the other things that we need to talk about, first of all, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate and love you all. I really would love to have more subscribers. I would love to have that 500 subscribers to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything, so I would greatly appreciate it if you do that. I'm going to run through these changes really quick. I'm going to pause the music that we got going on so that you can hear this clearly. Okay, so there's going to be lots of buffs and nerfs this week on all of these classes. I'm just going to go through them really quickly. Not all of the classes, but some of the classes are getting nerfed and changed and so on and so forth. I want to definitely talk about those. Also, there were a couple of changes for dungeons and things like that too. So, okay, Blood DKs, their single target and AoE are getting buffed. That's going to be for the Deathbringer, the Selayan version. They're supposed to be getting a 17% increase in single target and about 20 to 40% AoE because the RNG was too crazy for them. So, a little side note there. Balance Druids going to get 5% single target, 2% AoE. Resto Druids are pretty much getting status quo even. They're trying to fix those. BM Hunters, they came out to be a little too strong after the buffs last week. So pack leaders are getting a 5% decrease in single, 2% AoE. BM Hunters with Dark Ranger are getting a buff on the AoE side of things, which is about 1%. Which really isn't that much. Marksman Hunters using Sentinel, the single target is staying the same while AoE is getting buffed. Marksman Hunters for Dark Ranger, they're getting a single target nerf and an AoE buff. Not too much there. Mistweaver Monks, they are getting a single target buff and an AoE buff also. But there's a lot of information because they are changing them a lot. Holy Paladins are getting a nerf, which is going to be a faster mana consumption rate when they're trying to heal and do things there. Disciplined Priests are going to be getting a 1% increased buff there. Shadow Priests, single target is staying the same, while AoE is going to be getting a 4%, maybe even more, depending upon how many targets you're going to go after. Assassin Rogues are getting that 2% nerf single, 3% nerf AoE. Elemental Shamans, which this is going to kind of hurt me, they're saying a single target of an 11% and then a AoE of 9%, but I don't know how much of that is actually true. So we were kind of trying to sim craft it, but we're not 100% positive. As for enhancement shamans, a 6% decrease single target, 10% AoE. Resto Shaman DPS are getting a large damage gain. They really, really needed it because they took away that acid rain buff that they had before. So this is going to help them there. Affliction Warlocks, they are going to be getting a what's it called? If they're using Soul Harvester, they're going to be getting a 3% AoE and single target buff. If they are using Hellcaller, it's a 7% single target, 6.5 AoE. Demonology is going to be a 5% single target, 7% AoE, which is going to be nice. That's my secondary character. And then Destruction Lock is an 8.5 or for single target, 11 for AoE. That's really, really nice there. They're still working on warriors because they really are looking at all these classes, every single spec. So Arms Warrior Colossal is getting a 6.5 single, 8 AoE. Arms Warrior Slayer, 9% single, 9.5 AoE. Mountain Thane Fury, 6.5 single, 4.5 AoE. Slayer Fury Warrior is a 6.5 single, 6.5 AoE. Mountain Thane Prot is getting about a 1%, and that's an even for the AoE. And then a Colossal Prot, it's 2% on single target, and it's equal on the AoE. So that was that stuff. Now, there's lots of little things that they're changing also. Most of it is coming down to not single target PvP stuff we tend to not talk about. They are changing the time walking dungeon healths, so be aware of that when you're going in there. Stone Vault, they're trying to fix some issues with blazing shrapnel. The Black Rock Depths dungeon, they're still working on, making that a little easier. I wouldn't not expect it to be actually more equalized come the end of the what's it called? Closer to the end of the 20th anniversary. So that was that. They did a couple of other changes throughout the whole entire week between Outlaw Rogue, because they ended up finding some huge flaws with that. They ended up fixing a lightning rod, or I should say changing a lightning rod, because it was double effectiveness happening. So there's lots of little things that have been changed throughout the whole entire week. It's really kind of hard for me to pinpoint and tell you every single thing. Just know that they are still trying to equalize damage and AoE on multiple different scales. So thanks all for hanging out today. I greatly appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. I love you all. Dream big, keep gaming. Keep checking out all of our videos. We're trying to have a bunch. There was also some that's happening on lordsofgaming.net. We got a couple of really cool games over there too that I want you all to check out. And I'll see you all soon. All right. Love you all. Good luck in your vaults. Bye, everybody.